All right, I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. Take a couple sighs. Some, yeah. Sigh, bubble your lips. Shake. And then spray yourself. Give yourself a little spritz of something nice. And then take a couple deep breaths of whatever you've chosen. And just allow yourself to come on in to your practice. So allowing yourself to, again, systematically unplugging from anything that, again, you don't need right now. So maybe it's unplugging from the part of you that's still spinning from listening to the news or looking at articles, or pull away, pull back into yourself. You've been texting, emailing, calling, Zooming, pull yourself back. And just kind of imagining as you're pulling yourself back that we are limiting the stimulation from the external and we're heightening the internal inquiry, the internal stimulation of our own beingness, so our own needs and desires. And so I want you to imagine that your yoga mat this afternoon is going to be that little safe sanctuary in which you can have a little buffer from the world, from everything that's going on. And again, you can really be aware of what you need. And then start to deepen your breath and really feel on that exhale, that grounding into your sitting bones, or if you're lying down onto your spine, and just really feeling yourself sink into your body. So it's really easy with all this information going around that we can be really heightened in our head and absent from our body. So kind of check out how your body has been handling all this anticipation and waiting and anxiousness and maybe even sadness and frustration, all the emotions, right? Kind of letting them all settle into your body. And then we begin, right? We begin this practice that lets us kind of bring it all in so that we can breathe through it, so that we can move our bodies, so that we can kind of let that energy keep in movement, right? So that it doesn't stagnate. We don't hold on, we don't push it down, but we just continue to be these adaptable to the different energies that we're feeling and sensing. And so allowing yourself to pull in your resources of your breath and your awareness and your intention to this practice. So we'll take some circular breaths, and I want you to imagine, again, drawing in your internal resources, drawing in your own breath awareness, your own energy, and inhale. Sweep your arms out and up, and then exhale, pull it down your center seam. And then 2 more times, big stretch out, like you're forming a bubble around yourself. Exhale. And then 1 more time, inhale. Then exhale, land at the heart and bow your head towards your heart. And then allow yourself to set that intention for whatever it is that you can do for you. And right, sometimes the best way to affect change and to affect the outer world is to be as bright and as steady and as resourced as we can internally. So every bit of work that you do for your own inner groundedness and peacefulness and health and vitality is doing for the world. And so never forget the power that we have to transform and to impact change from the inside out. Take a deep breath into your intention and exhale it out. Nice. And then open your eyes. And then we're going to come to all fours. So just set those blocks where they're handy. And then we're going to press into the left palm and lift the right arm. Take a big stretch out through your chest. Yeah, and then on the exhale, place that right arm down and then left arm lifts, stretch and open. And then exhale down, right leg sweeps out to the right so that you have knee and foot in the same line. Tuck your left toes under and send your hips back. And then can you stretch from your inner right pubic bone to your inner right knee, to your inner right foot? Can you feel that elongation of energy from the pelvis out to your feet? And then come back forward and then lift that right leg and sweep it back. And you can kickstand your left foot and hover into that little side plank. Now drop the right foot and reach over your head, over your arms, stretch, and then lift back up. And again, stretching through that inner right seam, drop and stretch. And then lift up. And then one more time, drop and stretch. And then this time lift up, and then heel comes back. So you might have to bring it forward to grab onto your foot, and then kick foot into hand and open through your chest. So feel your pelvis draw forward, shoulder draw back, foot and hand kick together. And then as you're ready, go ahead and release that. Place your right foot down on the floor, right hand down on the floor. So you're in all four spinal balance. And then right leg lifts, left arm lifts. Lengthen out and then reach your left arm back to grab your right foot again. Lift your chest, kick your foot into your hand. And maybe there's a slight little twist to the left, or maybe you want to bring your chest forward. And then right foot comes back, and then lift that the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then just lift and lower your heels, pedal it out so you feel your calves stretch. And then let yourself drop in the sensation of 2 hands on the mat, 2 feet on the mat, whether your heels are down or lifted. Really feel that downward pull of the energy to let your heels descend, let your arms reach down to the earth, and feel that as kind of roots of support. So you can ground and stabilize. We're going to stay low to the ground today so we can stay pretty grounded. So big breath in, big breath out. We're going to step that left leg forward between our hands. We're going to drop to the right knee, and I'm going to let you back your hips up for a moment. And then I want you to ease your hips forward really slowly so that the first amount of kind of catch that you feel where your body naturally stops, just stop there and breathe. So it may not be a very deep stretch, but I want you to let yourself just naturally be guided through kind of these, through the natural stop of the body. So we're not pushing our hips forward, just letting them slowly melt. Start to let your left heel feel like it deepens back and into the floor. And then your left shin can release forward. So we feel a nice little calf stretch. And you're just going to go really slow. So this might feel like you're not doing anything. If you want blocks, please grab them. But we're just letting our hips naturally go deeper as we breathe for 5. And again, you might stay further back because we're not letting any type of force. We're just letting gravity and the natural opening of our body happen. So let me know if you've got questions. Always unmute yourself. Okay, one more breath. And then as you're ready, step forward. Left leg becomes your base, and then lift that right heel to your left sitting bone. Left hand's going to grab onto that foot if you can, so bend your left knee if you need more space, and then lift your right thigh skyward so that you start to feel a stretch from that right pubic bone through that right inner thigh. So my thigh is lifting, I'm pulling my heel in towards my sitting bone. And again, if you need a block, grab a block. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then hands down, step your right leg out to the right and bend your left knee. So similar to what we did on our hands and knees, but now the left knee bends and the right foot's out, and I'm just sending my hips back, and again, lengthening that inner right seam. Lengthening that inner right seam. Nice deep breath in and nice deep breath out, and then just slide your feet together, forward fold. So our first time for a forward fold, so feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to, shake your head out. Maybe sigh, and since it feels good to wave or ripple the spine, just to kind of really let it kind of shake out and through. So feel free to get bouncy if you want. And then just get heavy towards the floor. So if you can't, just let your hands touch the floor whatever way they can. And again, sighing or deeply breathing into this forward bend. It's totally fine to have bent knees. Just make sure that your belly, your low belly, and your upper thighs can meet in whatever way they can. Okay, nice deep breath in. And then exhale, tuck and curl. So you're in a squat. So my knees and toes are forward. I can grab onto my thighs and round, or I can take my hands forward. So rounding like a little ball. Letting the hips sink back. Then I'm going to straighten the legs, forward fold. And I'm going to do this a few times. Then the knees, I can round, tailbone long, exhale, forward fold. And just keep going. Kind of building some heat in the legs, keeping the head down, trying to relax any jaw tension. So you really want to let that head hang as much as it can so that we can lengthen the sides of the neck. 3 more. And then back to that squat. We're going to step that right leg back again, knee down. And then again, walk your hands forward and lunge. So again, I'm going to let the hips slowly descend, but now my hands are just a little bit further forward. And again, I'm letting the hips soften. I'm letting the front shin soften forward. But there's a slight little reach back, and it's more of an energetic reach from the right pubic bone, right inner thigh, right inner foot. Just kind of letting these hips slowly melt. And then walk your hands back in, and then both knees come back together. And let's just sway side to side. So trying to warm up the hips before we do that second side. So swaying, I'm just weight shifting. Side to side. And then come forward, hips go low, and then come back. And then come forward, and again, I'm dropping my hips, and I'm keeping my head down though, so I'm not necessarily lifting my head, just letting the hips press forward and back. And then last time, then we'll make a full circle. So I'll come to the side, hips forward, other side and back, just combining those movements. Drawing a big circle with my hips. Just remember, if you're going clockwise or counter, we'll do that the second side. You can go the other direction. And then back to all fours. And then starting again, plant the right palm, lift the left arm. Big twist. You let your head look down, or you can relax. And then left arm down, right arm up. Again, I can look down and let my head go. And then both hands down, left leg, I'm going to switch sides so you can see better. Left leg sweeps out. I have knee and inner foot. Tuck my right toes under and hinge back. So again, I'm going to feel the left pubic bone, inner thigh line going all the way out. So try your best to feel energy dissipate from the pelvis. So almost like you're trying to get the outer foot to the mat and really widen. Okay, one more breath. And then as you're ready, we're going to sweep that left leg back behind us. And I'm going to kickstand my right toes, and I'm going to side plank. Modify. Then I drop the left foot and reach my left arm over my head. And then I lift it back up. And then I just kind of move with my breath. Exhale, big stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Or you can inhale, whatever feels more comfortable. And then last time, reach up and then reach around and grab onto your foot. Kick foot into hand. Open your chest. The left shoulder moves back. The hips press forward. Big stretch across the chest. You can even let your head go. And then go ahead and lengthen your left foot back out. Come back to like a kneeling, right knee down, left foot back. You're in tabletop. Then right arm lifts, left leg lifts. See if you can really lengthen that left inner thigh line. And then reach that right arm back behind you, either inner grip thumb down or outer grip thumb up. Kick foot into hand, and you can either twist if you'd like, or you can keep your chest forward. Kind of feeling that left hip stretch. And then as you're ready, foot down, and then pressing into downward facing dog. Then again, moving your ankles, doing whatever it is that you need to do so that you can feel yourself anchor. And now bend your knees a lot, letting your hips kind of reach up and back, straighten your legs. Bend your knees, let your belly and low thighs touch, straighten your legs. Bend your knees and straighten a couple more times. Notice my shoulders don't really move a whole lot, it's just kind of the hip area. And then when you're ready, step your right leg forward, drop to your left knee, and now back out of it. So if you need your blocks, grab them. And then really slowly kind of feel your body naturally start to come into that lunge. So stop wherever you start to feel the first bit of resistance, where your body kind of says, oh, hold on. And then just kind of stay there and let your body invite you in deeper. So keep your head down. Use blocks. And again, you're not going for the deepest stretch, but feel that right heel sink into the earth. And as you feel that right heel sink in, you can let your right shin relax. You can let your back thigh release back. And just kind of feeling all this out. One more breath. And then you're going to step forward, and I'm going to bring my hands with me. I'll bend the left knee so that my left heel and my right sitting bone get close. My right hand will reach back, and then I'll elevate the left thigh as I reach the inner thigh line. And again, you can bend the right knee if you need more space or put blocks under your hand. Relax your head. Keep lengthening that left inner thigh line. And then we'll release the left foot wide. So similar to what we did, my right toes face forward, my left foot is down, and I'm going to send my hips back, just like a Skandasana variation. So hips back, and I'm, again, lengthening this entire left inner thigh line. So I want to feel that my left inner thigh is lifting towards the sky. It's not pressing towards the floor. And then nice deep breath. And then bring your legs to touch top of your mat. Then again, shake or sway, whatever it is. I sometimes like to even grab onto my neck and lengthen it. So if I clasp at the base of my head, I can kind of feel the heaviness of my arms lengthening and tractioning my neck. So I like that one from time to time. So we're going to turn the toes out. So you'll come into whatever position of Malasana is going to work for you. So we're going to do that squat and then a fold. So we're going to squat, and you can be as low as you want. You can free the hands or keep the hands down. Turn the thighs, forward fold. Squat, forward fold. So I am turning my thighs out. I'm turning my thighs in. And I just want to feel strong, strong, strong through my legs, so that my upper body can get nice and loose. So the more we can kind of activate and really get into the legs, it's going to draw our energy down so that we can ground and kind of get rid of any scattered energy or tension. We'll do one more squat. And again, you can come up, you can stay low, you can have hands at heart, take about 5 breaths. And if you need a block underneath, that can be helpful. That's one way, or you can just be up higher if you need. And then forward fold. Breathe in and out. And then go ahead and step that left leg back. And then bend the left knee to the floor. This time, walk your hands forward. And again, let the hips melt. So with the hands forward, you can kind of push away from the earth to give yourself a little bit more space. And as that front shin descends, you let the back thigh release. And we're just easing into a deeper stretch. And again, it's going to look really simple, but it's the subtle energy that we're working with. So it's really subtly how we let ourselves kind of naturally get deeper. Paying attention to those little small signals that the body's releasing. Okay, one more breath. And then as you're ready, coming back to all fours. Then from here, we're gonna do a little circular motion. So I'm gonna come forward a bit with the hips and the shoulders, and I'm gonna kind of round and release the shoulders. So it's like I'm doing a shoulder kind of circular motion, but I'm doing this with my shoulder blades, not my elbows. So I'm just kind of making a circular movement. It might be a little confusing. So if you need to just do the scapular push-ups, that works too. But all you're doing is just trying to make a little circular motion. Just kind of freeing the shoulders. You can go both directions. And this time, come forward like we did before and let the hips just hang, knees down. So kind of let your hips sway if that would feel good, or turn. Really letting the pelvis kind of release out of the lumbar. And then as you're ready, you can come back. You can tuck or untuck your toes, child's pose. And then we'll do so if you went clockwise, go counterclockwise. If you went clockwise, make those big circles again. And you might this time really add kind of that rounding and releasing of the scapula. So you might kind of turn and round and do all kinds of fun things with your shoulders. And then come to stillness. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Shake out your head. Nice deep breath in and nice deep breath out. One more time. And then it's going to be that left leg that's going to lift up. And then bend the knee without opening the hips. Just bend the knee and let that thigh bone lift. Feel that deep stretch maybe across the front of the left thigh if you can get that. Otherwise, you'll feel the strength of the back. And then bring your left leg forward, high lunge this time. So the high lunge, we stay high, the back heel stays lifted, back inner thigh lifting. Walk your hands over to the right and just kind of feeling that upper back stretch. So head goes down. So your knee and your ankle are in one line and they're facing towards the center of your foot. And you're just bringing your torso to the right. Back heel lifted, back toes face forward. You have 3 more breaths. Really let go of your jaw. So if you're on fingertips or on blocks, I'm a little bit puffing my upper back. Last deep breath. And then from here, take a quarter turn to your right, then right knee straight and left. So I'm keeping heels down. You're welcome to lift them, sitting bones go back. Your hands can walk forward again. Once again, we're opening up this inner leg line. You don't have to go to your full expression. This is really, again, about the subtlety of lifting this inner thigh and releasing the thigh out of the hip crease. And then one more deep breath. And then from here, walk back to the left, go a little wider so that your left foot is now wide outside your hands. And then you can either stay on your palm prints. You can take your arms wide and you can pull your heart forward, bowing your head. Or if you want to set your back knee down, please do that. So your right inner thigh, you want that to keep staying lifted. And if you'd rather have your hands inside, please do that too. I didn't say that. One more deep breath. Look forward, step both feet forward, forward bend. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. So this time we're going to sit back. We'll lift the arms, but the knees and hips are level, and then we'll forward fold. So it's like Utkatasana, but it's really deep. Arms forward, forward fold. I just want you to start to feel again that leg strength. Sit back. Hip creases are shortening. 3 more. Stay strong in your core. 2. 1 more. And then all the way down. So staying with that left side one more time. Right leg back. This time hover. So the knees are not going to come up. Bring your hands to your thighs. Reach your arms up if you want. So our first time to lift the head, you can even support by lifting up through the head here, like we did before for 3. Hang through that right hip, press that left heel 2. And then knee down, hands down, all fours, downward facing dog. Sip in that breath. Let the head go. Okay, one more time, breath in. And then breath out. Okay, that right leg is going to step forward between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Walk a quarter turn to your left. And again, I'm going to move my torso to the left while I keep my back heel lifted in that lunge. Think about the left inner thigh being really buoyant. Drop into letting your neck go to keep awareness of your core. So it's like the core is strong so that I can keep my softness in my neck, shoulders, jaw. Okay, then bring the hands underneath. Take a quarter turn to your left. You're going to bend the left knee, straighten the right. And it's easy to let this inner thigh go down. Instead, feel it lifting up. Like there's a renewed strength in your outer right hip. Nice deep breaths. You can walk your hands wherever they want to go. And then coming back to face the front of the mat. Go ahead and turn your toes out. And you're in, again, that same kind of bent knee squat. So we're going to go squat, and we're just going to lift up a bit. We just go down and we lift up. So I'm not going all the way up. I'm just getting deeper, and then I'm lifting. And I want you to lift through pressing through your heels and feeling your abdominals lift up towards your heart. For 3, for 2, and then lift all the way up and then down, and then feel kind of the heaviness. And then just imagining lifting from the root of your spine up through your heart. Just a slight little lift. And then turn your thighs forward, forward fold. You can be a little bit wider and let your hips go side to side. Okay, so last little lunge. We're gonna step, I believe, that left leg back. Hover, so that we did this on Thursday, so the knee almost touches the floor. You can just stay here on blocks. You can reach up to your thigh, or you can lift up, and I was recommending holding at the base of the skull so that you can feel your head supported, so there's no tension in the neck. Let that left thigh drop. 3, 2, and then knee down, hands down. You got it, downward facing dog. Drop in and breathe, and just kind of notice what your energy's done now that we've been really low to the ground, head down, kind of really firing up the lower body. So breathe into that. And then when you're ready, set your knees down and then come onto your back. So we're going to take all that energy that we kind of got grounded and moving, and we're going to start to now lift the energy so it's into the core so that we can kind of transmute any of that heavy, dull energy so that we can have access to our creativity. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and interlace the hands behind the head so you have that good interlock. And I like to squeeze a little bit at the base of the neck or at the base of the head so I feel really supported. So I feel like I've really got my head. Okay, so we're going to take that right leg up to the sky. Point the toes if you can. Now we're going to exhale. We're going to lift up. And on the inhale, I'm going to lower towards the floor, stretching through my right thigh. Keep the leg long. Exhale. Pull belly in. Now you're going to pull the belly in and relax your head. And then go ahead and lengthen towards the floor. Keep going. And you want to lengthen actively. Nice long deep breaths. Trying to really feel the ribs and the hips get closer, and then opening up that chain as we lengthen down. Couple more. Now stay contracted, so the leg lifts. We try to pull up, not from the head though. We're pulling up through the belly, drawing down and feeling that contraction. And then release the head, grab onto your left knee and lengthen the right leg all the way to the floor. And feel that left knee traction up as the right leg extends and lengthens. The left knee can pull over to the left if you want a little bit of groin work. Big breath in, big breath out. Bring both knees in and then rock up to a seat. So you have some options. We're gonna do breath of fire, which is a way of really, again, circulating that good creative energy and kind of moving any stagnation out of the body. So you have two options. One is you can just sit. If it's kind of takes a lot of mental work to do this or focus, you could do it with your chest propped. You could do it in Navasana. You could do it in a tabletop. So you can choose a more active shape, okay? So how to do this breath work is it's a forceful exhale, snapping your belly, so your belly is like moving, and the inhales just take care of themselves, okay? So you pick your pose, sitting up tall, chest lifted, or you're in boat pose or something else, okay? Empty your breath out, and then here we go. So as you're doing this breath work and pumping the belly, you're relaxing your face, and you're letting all your awareness focus at your navel center. So that energy that feels like heavy or stuck or fearful, like anything you want to imagine, it's starting to get kind of, we're putting it in the fire and transmuting that energy. Okay, you've got 15 more seconds. Inhale and hold. Lift your pelvic floor, lift your belly, lift your heart. And then exhale out through your mouth. Wherever you are, put your feet down. Inhale, the arms come up. And then exhale, stick your tongue out. One more. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Nice. And then from here, go ahead and roll down. And we'll do one bridge pose. So press into your feet, lift your hips, press your hips forward. So opening up the heart, opening up the front of the hips. And then lowering the hips down. Okay, so we're gonna go to the second side to get that nice strong clasp around the base of the head. So there's a little bit of squeezing so that you can feel that relaxation. The right leg stays down. On the exhale, the left leg lifts, and I'm again not pulling on my head. My head's completely relaxed, but I'm drawing navel down. And then inhaling as I lengthen to or towards the floor. And what dictates if you go to the floor is if your pelvis can stay neutral as you do that stretch. So exhale, inhale. It can be as rhythmic as you want, but it's more about the breath, pumping the breath in and out of your body as we're moving lower energy in the body and we're using the core. So just make this a nice strong breath practice. You can press through your right foot. Really breathe and focus your awareness at the center of your body. You have two more, and then we're going to hold. So on this one, hold and pull navel down, relax your head, but feel that curl. And then as you're ready, lower the left leg, lower your head, draw your right knee in, and traction knee away from the leg. And then if you want to pull it over to the right, you can. Okay, so this next one, you're going to stay down for breath of fire. So here's the option. This is the one I'd recommend for most of us because it's pretty intense. You can do breath of fire in Ardha Navasana. I find that to be very challenging. So I'm going to keep my left foot down and I'm just going to lift my right side and then I'll tell you when to switch, okay? So get a good grab onto your head. So again, that same belly pumping. And if that's too much, just come up and sit. Okay? Ready and begin. Release, take a deep breath in. Hold. Sigh it out. Take an extra breath or two. Kind of feel energy moving through your body. And then hold on to your head with your right hand. Left leg lifts, left arm lifts, so that you're, again, pulling ribs to hips. Last time, go ahead and start. Fast, furious exhales. And inhale all the way in. Hold. Feel the energy pull towards the base of your spine, or for the base of your spine all the way up. And let it go. And just lie still and feel the energy. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Come up to a bridge pose with bound hands. So as you lift your hips, roll to the outer edge of your shoulders, pull your knuckles down. So feel the hips lift, feel your chest open. So now we're going to start working into the upper psoas. So from the lower psoas, we've been opening, and now we're going to start to get that upper body lift. Bringing that energy back up with its new vitality. Then as you're ready, set it down. Knock your knees together, walk your feet wide, hook your thumbs, and reach your arms up and over. So it's a nice stretch through the side body and the front body. So you can open. Okay, one more breath. And then go ahead and draw your knees in and rock and roll yourself up to a seat, and then come into your downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. So the left leg is going to lift up, bend that knee, that same work of the hamstring. Open thigh. And if you feel like you can, you'll spin the right heel kind of in and flat. Maybe you'll tent the right palm and you'll just keep the thigh stretch, or maybe you'll reach your right hand back and see if you can grab onto that foot. And again, it's just a focus pose. I have warrior 1 feet and I'm lifting the thigh just as we did before. But we did it in a standing splits. No worries if you didn't get it. Lift the back heel up, step it forward, warrior 2, heel to arch. Before you come up, walk your hands inside your left foot. Notice if you can lift your right inner thigh. So let it lift away from the floor instead of towards your left shin. Move it up, so you have to move more weight into your outer hip. Then as you're ready, windmill the arms up and you're in warrior 2. Yeah, nice. And then from here, circle those arms up to reach. Turn your palms to face forward and lift. So feel like someone's lifting you up. Feeling that lift from the sides of the waist up. Keep that lift and then just open up the palms and come into warrior 2. So you've got that nice opening. Then you're gonna allow the thumbs to go back just a bit and then come forward. So we're just kind of pulsing the upper back to get the chest to open. So thumbs back, just kind of little light pulses, reaching that thumb line. And then hold it back. You can either just stay here or start to clasp in your warrior 2. So opening up the chest. So now I want you to pay attention to the lower psoas. So keep that lift out of the spine. Keep the lift out of the right lower psoas as you keep the inner thigh feeling buoyant. So the way you'll find that action is pushing your right foot away from your left. Keep that, keep your core strong, and take a side angle with a neck release. So I can look down or I can let my head go. And take 5 deep breaths. So my core is strong, my navel's pulled back. My tailbone is kind of reaching down and forward. I'm pushing my right foot away. I'm letting my left shin release towards the center of my foot. Now let your clasp lift your head up. And then open up the arms. Nice deep breath. Nice work. Cartwheel it down to the floor. And then reposition for a warrior two. So now I'm going to go more like railroad tracks. And then once again, try to feel the outer edge of your right foot descend so that you can feel that right inner thigh lifted. And you can come all the way up, warrior one. Notice if you can maintain that. Bring your hands to meet at your heart. And then lengthen forward. Keep the sides of your waist long and twist to the left. And we're not going to hook. We're going to stay lifted. And if you start to feel a collapse, you can reach the arms apart and feel that lifting through the rib cage and then reposition the arms. Keep your back inner thigh lifting up towards the back of the room. Feel your front shin descending. Take another deep breath. And then you're going to slide the left arm to the small of your back and the right arm will reach up, maybe to your head, and take a little reverse warrior here in warrior one. Breath in and out, you're holding onto your head. And then again, we'll cartwheel down to the floor, unhook, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose first time, so take your time. Exhale to your belly. Your favorite pose, cobra, locust, whatever you want. Inhale. And then exhale down, press back, down dog, or child's pose, your choice. Right leg lifts up, bend the knee without opening the hip. Just feel that strength of your glutes. Heel descends. And then right leg forward, warrior two. But before you come up, we set up heel to arch. And I'm going to really see if I can press my left foot away from my right so I can feel that left inner thigh lift. I'll align my knee with my foot. Then I'll come all the way up. And as I come up, I'm going to switch sides. And again, I'm going to turn my palms to face out and reach in this time. So I want to feel the palms reach in and feel the sides of my waist. And then as I'm ready, I'll open up the palms. And then pulse again, thumbs back. Opening through my chest. Getting a little strength in the back body. And then holding it here or clasping, your choice. So before we go any further, keep lifting your left inner thigh. So using the outer left glute, I push the left foot away from the right. I allow my right shin to descend. So I'm opening both of my psoas muscles. And then as I'm pulling my clasp towards my left foot, I lean over to the right. Let my pelvis swing to the left. And I can look down and let my neck go. So really reaching your clasp. If you don't have a clasp, you can just reach the palms together, and that works just as good. Nice deep breath. And then pull your fists down, let that lift your head. Arms back out, inhale. Cartwheel down to the floor to set up for warrior one. So now I'm going to widen my feet and reset it up. Once I get that back inner thigh, again to lift, I'll get a deeper calf stretch most likely. Then I'll come all the way up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the heart. Keep that lifting of your chest, hinge forward. Keep lifting your back inner thigh and twist to the right. Keep breathing in. Keep breathing out. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, release it down. Plank pose. Nice deep breath here. And then again, choose your own adventure, chaturanga, your choice, cobra, locust, anything you want. And then back, downward facing dog. We're going to do that balance pose on the right, so I keep forgetting that. So lift it up, bend the knee, and then I seal my back heel flat. And then I'll reach back to grab onto the left foot if I can. And if you can, it's okay. This is just, again, one of those focused balance shapes. Kind of putting it together. One more deep breath. And then just put it down and come back to down dog. Just shake it out if you need to. Breath in and breath out. All right, go ahead and set your knees down and sink back onto your heels just to let the hips relax. If you'd like to go for a deeper chest stretch, you can walk your hands back and open up. Otherwise, just letting your thighs release. And so we're gonna, does anybody have a wall space close? I think so. Anybody not? Okay. So you're gonna stand up and we're gonna go to a wall space. And I'm gonna take my wrists above my shoulders, which are above my hips. And I'm gonna let the side body lengthen, okay? So I just wanna push away, feel that lengthening your low back, okay? So wrist above shoulders, above hips. You do want your pelvis to dip forward, so there is a pelvic tilt. And you'll feel like a little bit of a hamstring, a little bit of a side reach. And so as you're doing this, kind of what we want to feel for is as the pelvis reaches back from the center of your navel, from a couple inches to the right and the left of your navel, feel a reach up through your heart. Let your head go. And then nice deep breath in. And if you need to bend your knees, you can. Come all the way up. Now you're going to face away from the wall. So I'm like, maybe 12 inches. I'm going to place my palms flat on the wall, push into the wall, lift my chest. So I'm going to feel my triceps engage for this. Keep lifting your chest. You got it. 3. Keep reaching your shoulders back, your heart forward. Yeah. 1 more. And then release your hands. Just kind of stand for a moment. So really opening up that heart space. Yeah. Okay. Save the best for last. Or maybe you won't think so. Okay, this last one's a really big opener for the hips, okay? So to keep it pretty mild, put your right shin down. And I will back my back knee flush to the wall. Okay, so my back knee is flush to the wall and my shin is down. And all that I might do is come up to my hands. That might be it for today. Okay, if that's feeling good and happy, I'll put my foot down. And at first, I'm just gonna back my hips towards the wall. And then I can slowly ease my hips forward, just like we did at the beginning of class. So it's either front shin down, and if you don't have a wall space, no problem. What I'll have you do is do this, and you're gonna work maybe to grab onto your thigh and pull it back. Or you can just work lifting, okay? So if you don't have a wall space, that's what you're doing. Otherwise, if you have a wall space, back knee flush with the wall, ankle up the wall, foot down or shin down. So at first you back hips up to the wall and then you're slowly letting your hips come forward to the degree you can keep that from being too intense, right? Because it's a very intense stretch. You might need to double fold something for the knee. And we're going to take 10 breaths there. And as you breathe in, take a nice deep breath and send it right to your hips. And as you breathe out, just kind of send that energy 2 directions, up through your heart, out through your feet. So let me know if you've got any questions or if you don't have a wall. Remember what I was saying is you're on your knee and you can either work the lifting or you can work the heel coming back. So it's not quite pigeon, it's knee, shin, one line. You might be working here, okay? But no matter what you're doing, you're breathing really deeply because this is a pretty intense pose. So eventually hips come forward away from the wall and you're getting that deep, deep hip stretch. Okay, 1 more breath. And then come out. And find if you like down dog at the wall. If you have a wall space, it's nice to put your heels on the wall and kind of use that to traction. And here's our final side, final pose. So Shin down, opposite side, or foot down, back knee flush with the wall, ankle and shin going up the wall. Or you're on the other side. And again, I have knee, ankle, one position, lifting my chest, or I'm working hand back. Okay? So those of you at the wall, let your hips come back towards the wall, and then ever so slowly, you're releasing your hips forward, using that kind of just gravity, not letting yourself force. So it's just like, maybe it goes an inch, and maybe that's it. And you're breathing in right into the pelvis, and as you breathe out, let that energy travel down towards your feet and up towards your heart. And just let me know if you've got any questions or anything is confusing. You might want blocks for your hands. Yeah, I didn't say that. Sorry about that. Tell you now, right? When you're on like the last side, last few breaths. Okay, really breathe deep. Last few, you guys, you got this. Keep going. Big breaths. Really helps. Yeah, good. And then slowly come out, either a down dog or a forward fold, whatever would feel better for your body. Nice work. Awesome. Okay. Awesome work, you guys. So let's integrate that by lying onto your back. So if you have like a blanket that you can roll, or if you have a bolster to like have your spine, do that. Otherwise, you can put a block either lengthways or around your shoulder blades, and then your head will have one. So another option, if neck's really bothering you, is to use your block. And you won't be doing the heart opening, you'll be doing the neck opening. So I have it on the tall, wide side, tuck my chin, and I just move my chin side to side. And I'm just kind of splitting the neck, get a nice little myofascial release. Otherwise, you're doing a little bit of heart opening. Your feet are together, your knees are wide, and I'm gonna walk you through some breath work. So nice deep breaths. First, just starting to calm the body and let your body slow down. So start by just lengthening your inhales and exhales so that perhaps they're up to 8 in count. So you're breathing in for 8, breathing out for 8. But if you can only breathe into 5, that's fine. Just start to really stretch the breath out so that you can feel it open into spaces in your side body, your heart. Stretch it out. And then I want you to really focus the breath the next few moments onto the belly. So I want you to really feel the lower belly lift as you inhale. And as you release on the exhale, feel it soften towards your spine. So really just breathing into the lower portion of the ribs, the belly, the low back. So just let your awareness drop there and see how much breath and prana that you can bring to that area of your body. Again, the breath is smooth. You're not forcing it to be any longer than it needs to be. And then go ahead and move the breath into more like the central region. So that's like the sides of the ribs, kind of right below the heart. See if you can really feel that area, especially in the upper back. See if you can really breathe to the space behind the heart, especially if you have a bolster or something there that you can feel touch the earth. Really breathe into that. See if you can get some new spaces. And now breathe into the upper chest, to the collarbones. Can you feel the collarbones lift as you breathe in? And breathing out with the base of the neck, letting all the attachments of the scalenes and the SCM muscles, the upper traps. Nice. And then can you breathe into all three of those spaces simultaneously as you breathe in? Maybe not in the same order. Maybe you breathe into the belly first, the side, but feeling all those spaces as you breathe in and all those spaces as you breathe out. And then just let the breath be natural and just kind of assess how you feel in your body with that. Noticing what's going on in the mind and the emotional body. And so if you're in Baddha Konasana, you can straighten your legs out or bend your knees. So kind of just coming more to that neutral hip position. You might roll onto your side and off your bolster or prop for a moment. Just lie on your side for a minute and just kind of feel that. And then slowly, when you feel ready, coming up to a seat. You can sit on a block if you want. You can sit cross-legged or on your shins. And then let's take a deep breath and let's turn the chin 45 degrees to the left and then chin to the chest. Feel that right shoulder blade reach wide. And then lift the back of your neck, let it lengthen. And then let your left ear fall towards your left shoulder. Right collarbone still expands. Left shoulder heavy and lengthening down. And then lift up, and then just draw your chin directly down to your chest. Bottom both of your collarbones. Take a couple breaths here. And then just slowly kind of making your way like where we just did. So left ear to left shoulder, chin drops down and rolls forward. Just kind of do that half little quadrant a couple times. Feeling your neck. And then lengthen the back of your neck. Take a moment just to feel any difference in sides, and then draw your chin 45 degrees to the right, and then drop your chin to your chest. And again, the left side, you want to really lengthen that so it doesn't pull in. You have to let your head be as heavy as possible. And then lift your chin up, and then let your right ear fall to your right shoulder. Keep letting both of your shoulder blades feel heavy. And then come up, and then again, you're gonna do that same thing, chin to chest. And then that little quadrant where you just kind of let it come up and down and just kind of work out anything going on in that side. And then bring your chin down to your chest, lengthen both sides of your neck as you come up. And then rub your hands together. You're gonna give yourself a scalp massage. So you're just gonna kind of like give a nice little massage and let your thumbs really massage like the occiput area and like the hairline and really get into any tenderness or any place. And just imagine with your hands, with this new prana, that you're kind of just giving your brain kind of a reset so that you're letting your brain feel fresh and adaptable and rejuvenated. You might even move down into your face. And then just kind of just nice and lightly, just kind of tap the top of your head and around the sides of your face. And then bring your hands to meet at your heart and just kind of feel your head, feel your neck area. And a couple of breaths, breathe from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. And then down to the base of your spine. From the base of your spine, bring to the crown of the head. To the base of the spine. Last time to the crown of the head. Pause and hold. Feel all that energy. And then out. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your dedication. Namaste. May we be happy and free. May our thoughts be that inspires us and motivates us to be this source of light and inspiration and intelligence to bring forth the change that we desire. Let it be. So it is. Namaste. Thanks, you guys.